The 360 camera landscape in 2026 has entered a phase where competition is no longer incremental but structural. Each major brand is now pushing a different interpretation of what a modern immersive camera should be. DJI is building around large sensors and high-end cinematic output. GoPro has returned to relevance with the Max 2 after a long development gap. In the middle of this shifting balance, Insta360 is preparing what appears to be its next flagship step, the Insta360 X6. Interestingly, the first real indication of the X6 did not come from marketing material or controlled leaks. Instead, it surfaced quietly through regulatory certification filings in late March 2026. The listing simply identified the device as Insta360 X6, without additional context or promotional framing. In product development cycles, this kind of appearance is rarely meaningless. It typically suggests that the hardware has already reached a stable stage and is undergoing final approvals before global release. By June 2026, the situation has become clearer. The X6 has reportedly passed certification in several major regions, including China, the United States, and the United Arab Emirates. These approvals were recorded within a close time frame, indicating a coordinated international clearance process rather than staggered regional testing. The device is listed under model code CSABXA with registration number ER57644626, and all entries currently remain active. While certification data does not reveal specifications, it strongly confirms that the product is real, finalized at a hardware level, and approaching launch readiness. At the same time, retail behavior around the current generation adds another layer of confirmation. The Insta360 X5 has begun to see steady price reductions across global platforms, with discounts of around $100 appearing consistently. Large retailers have mirrored these changes quickly, suggesting a coordinated pricing adjustment rather than isolated promotions. This type of pricing movement has been observed before. Both the X4 and X5 saw similar declines shortly before their successors were introduced, which makes the current pattern highly suggestive of an upcoming announcement window. To understand why the X6 is drawing so much attention, it is necessary to look at the structural limits of the X5. The X5 introduced dual 1.28-inch sensors and a triple AI chip configuration, combining a 5nm AI processor with two imaging processors. This setup significantly improved computational image quality, especially in low-light scenarios using its pure video mode. The system relies heavily on multi-frame processing and AI noise reduction to enhance detail in challenging conditions. However, the X5 still carries fundamental limitations. Its 8K output relies on upscaling rather than fully native sensor-level resolution, which reduces ultimate detail fidelity. In addition, it does not support internal 10-bit recording, limiting color grading flexibility and dynamic range control in professional workflows. While the camera performs well for general use, these constraints become more visible in high-end post-production environments where color precision and fine detail retention are critical. Thermal performance is another defining limitation. Under sustained recording conditions, particularly in warm environments, the X5 typically reaches thermal limits after extended 8K capture sessions. Real-world usage suggests continuous recording endurance of roughly 70 to 80 minutes before thermal management systems begin reducing performance. In hotter climates, this duration decreases further, creating a real-world constraint for long-form creators, event shooters, and travel videographers. These limitations form the foundation of expectations for the Insta360 X6. Based on consistent industry signals, the X6 appears to be designed as a direct response to these weaknesses. The most significant rumored upgrade is the introduction of dual 1-inch sensors. This would represent a major shift in imaging capability, dramatically increasing light capture, improving dynamic range, and elevating overall image quality into a more professional tier. However, implementing 1-inch sensors in a dual-lens 360 system is a complex engineering challenge. Larger sensors require more space, generate more heat, and demand a completely reworked optical and internal architecture. This includes redesigned lens systems, improved heat dissipation paths, and more efficient internal processing layouts. As a result, rumors of a revised chassis design, possibly using magnesium alloy, align with the need for both thermal efficiency and structural rigidity. On the video side, the X6 is widely expected to support 8K recording at 60 frames per second in full 360 mode. This represents a major improvement over the X5's 30 FPS limit. In practical terms, higher frame rates significantly improve the usability of reframed 360 footage. Motion becomes smoother, and fast action scenes translate more naturally into traditional video formats without the subtle stuttering that can appear at lower frame rates. Additional expected features include 5.7K recording at up to 120 FPS in single lens mode, which would enable high-quality slow-motion capture while maintaining strong resolution. This would allow creators to move more fluidly between immersive 360 capture and cinematic reframed storytelling within a single device. One of the most important rumored upgrades is the introduction of true 10-bit color recording. This directly addresses one of the X5's core limitations. With 10-bit depth, each color channel carries significantly more tonal information, enabling smoother gradients, better highlight roll-off, and far greater flexibility in post-production grading. For professional creators, this is not just an improvement but a foundational change in workflow capability. Overall, the Insta360 X6 is shaping up to be a defining release in the evolution of 360 imaging. With regulatory certification completed, consistent pricing adjustments on its predecessor, and a rumored specification set that directly addresses known limitations, all indicators point toward an imminent launch. While final performance remains to be seen, the direction is clear. This is a calculated response to a rapidly evolving and highly competitive market rather than a routine product refresh.